1973 GMC motorhome was a van life for Stream, our dream. We worked hard to get the van abyss in top condition, traveling through over 35 states along the way. Our last trip was the best. With more fun than work and our love growing stronger, I asked Maggie to marry me. But just a month later, our RV was totaled in a fire. Our precious collaboration was destroyed. We were lost as to what to do next. We tried looking at other GMCs in the Northwest so that we could continue our road trip, but our hearts were just not in it. Getting another one just didn't seem right. She was one of a kind. After spending weeks in hotels, we were all ready to go. We packed up what little we had left, said our goodbyes to Maggie's mom, and flew back to our home and up the elevator on a new chair in Colorado. I'd always wanted to sail, and we loved to travel. Having already seen so much of the U.S., we knew what we needed to do next.
It's time. We're hitting the road. We're running a little late. Happy Valentine's Day. We're packed up and ready to go. Well, we're actually going already. Peace.
That's right. We headed straight for the water on a road trip to find a sailboat. First stop, Houston, Texas. We started our search in Kemah, Texas, with Don Casey's complete sailboat maintenance manual in hand. We learned about the aesthetics of boats, as well as what not to do with engines.
These are our peeps.
Yeah, this railing here, notice it basically starts like right here. There's all this like extra bead of caulk or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad.
Mm-mm.
Well, nah. I mean, this would suck with you here, actually. Looks like they've got like heat gun hooked up to like the engine.
Why?
Well, like diesel gets too cold, so something to keep it warm, I guess.
Is that standard?
I've never seen it, but I don't know.
And we had some fun with some new and old Texas friends.
They call it a problem, I call it.
Wow.
That's all they have.
To navigate?
After a few days in Kemah, we'd seen quite a few boats. Drake even showed us 3 different boats of his on one marina. We didn't see quite what we were looking for. Our Texas sailboat list was getting thin. It was time to head east. Louisiana was up next. The day of the 6-hour drive to New Orleans, we knew we were sick. We hardly did a thing while we were in town. We skipped out on looking at boats entirely and didn't step foot into any Mardi Gras parades or parties. Finally feeling better, our next stop was Destin, Florida. The more we looked, the closer we got to what we were looking for. We started meeting more people and sellers who gave us information, guided us, and kept us excited about our endeavor. We continued south to Tampa.
Well, then the guy sold it to this couple, Steve and Pixie. Immediately started cruising the boat, started living on the boat. Then about 2006, hey, we need to upgrade this. So they rewired the boat. They
When things you're using things actively,
Buy something new.
sunset today was still shining.
Just over 2 weeks into our trip, we met Brian.
That'll be fun. I want to see it. Bye, Brian. He's leaving on our boat. That's our dinghy. And our boat's out there somewhere. Because we're about to buy it. Yes, we are. We're going to buy a boat, guys. We're going to buy a boat. Some of you guys know we haven't been sailing before. But my grandpa has, and these are all things from the 50s, 60s, maybe even 70s. We both know how to swim, and we both driven, a motorboat. We know that this snorkeling gear is going to come in handy for cleaning underneath our boat. Next, we have a wind meter. So there's a bunch of apps and stuff now, but when we're in the middle of the ocean, this might come in handy. Not that we know how to use it yet, but yeah. And last, this is some kind of pulley, but I don't exactly know what it is. Oh, I do have one more thing, so this isn't last. But I'm guessing like a rope goes around here, and it seems like it pulls really well. Turns well, so I kept it. Good luck, man. This is last. This is some string. Not really sure why we need it, but there was a whole bunch of it, so thought it might be important for sailing, so we brought it.
Brian delivered our new boat to us in the morning. He gave us a quick overview, re-anchored us in the sound, and showed me how to operate the dinghy as I returned to the shore.
Do you have to take that blue thing off first? Okay. I don't know how much we need to know about sailing yet. Hi. Alright, Booger, gotta clean up.
Bye, love you.
Chemo, no.
When you're living on the hook, at anchor, your dinghy is essentially your car. It's how we get from our sailboat to the shore. So, one of the first things that we did was to practice our dinghy handling. Afterward, we toasted to the end of our search and to our first night together in our new sailing home. We were fortunate to find ourselves in a lovely little town near Florida's Tampa Bay, with amenities that made the transition to boat life easy. Indeed, several other cruisers call this anchorage home.
It's our boat. Right there. That one. But look, there's a ton of boats out here. Just anchoring like us.
Back in the dinghy, making the commute to our new home after running errands and playing on shore. We relax and take in the first of many of the most perfect sunsets that we have ever experienced.
We're coming up to this island. I see the white. That's the beach right there, right?
Yeah, I don't know how shallow it gets.
Over there you can see. That's so weird. There's like a tide going right into there. You see it?
Yeah.
Let's not go over there. Let's try to go right here.
There is a chain of man-made islands that dot the channel near our anchorage, and one day we decided to go exploring. It was the first time we ever had a tropical island all to ourselves. When we got home, I reproposed to Maggie with a new ring, replacing the one we had lost in the fire. I've known since early in our relationship that she is someone that I want in my life forever. We celebrated our renewed commitment and basked in the beauty of the world we had created. On Saturday mornings, we have front row seats to live races, as the kids from the Community Sailing Center compete in their tiny vessels. With our initial cleaning done and our personal touches starting to shine through, our sailboat is truly starting to feel like home. Having mastered maneuvering the dinghy, we felt ready to tackle our 35-foot sailboat. Not quite, but we had to start learning somewhere, and we were ready to hoist the anchor and motor through the channel.
Just pull on the one side. To get it nice and straight.
Oh, cool. Looks like a seatbelt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
We donned our life jackets, incorrectly secured our dinghy, and got into our positions. Maggie would be holding us steady while I pulled up the anchor, and then I would assume the helm.
Alright, so here's our current situation, y'all. Well, we are trying to point at that building right there. While Damien figures out how to pull up this anchor, because I think we need a new anchor chain. And it's pretty scary because I can't tell if we're closer to the buildings than we were 30 seconds ago. And we're using the step sign here to keep us something. Yeah, so I'm going to film this because it's crazy. Alright, well, we did it. I'm not sure. Wow, there's a big green thing up there. We did it, guys. We're going to make this U-turn and see what we can figure out how to do. Yay! We're excited and scared. We pulled up the anchor though.
It was smooth sailing for like 2 minutes until I ran us aground. I did my homework, but I didn't understand as much as I thought I did about reading channel markers. What I thought was inside was way outside, and we hit bottom.
Huh? Really? Oh. Oh no. No, you're fine. Don't reverse.
Fortunately, it's all sandy bottoms around here, so running aground is of little to no consequence to the boat. Maggie had the foresight to sign us up for towboat, and while we could have waited out the tide and freed ourselves that way, utilizing the tow was the less stressful option. The towboat freed us, pulled us back to our anchorage, and we put the anchor back down for the first time by ourselves. We discussed the lessons of the day and looked forward to new ones to come.
We're just on the side of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's the sign.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Now turn this off?
Yeah, you killed it that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Off is that middle's off. Yep.
This thing turns with it.
Yeah.
Alright, wow. How was that? As long as we're motoring, I mean, we're good to go through anything as long as it's not too serious.
Oh, true. Yeah, and we can start. Yeah, we'll go practicing in bad weather too.
Okay. So, did today make you feel like you want to find an instructor? Do you think we can just figure it out?
Yeah, so I confirmed that we can just go slowly. That's what I mean, but I want to just start taking it down now every day. Get the feel of it. Yeah, we'll learn how to do this. New Year's. Still want to take sailing lessons for sure. But
Yeah.
no, this part we can figure out.
Cool. Yeah. It's exciting. We're doing it.